Hello, hello. What's up, guys? How is it going today? This is just an off the cuff live stream. So I really have nothing planned except for any questions that you guys might have today. But this is a question that I've gotten asked quite repeatedly during the past month or so. Is from Mike Young. Hi Shane, any updates about the M&K X15 Plus? Thanks in advance. So, I haven't done the X15 review yet because I did run into a little issue with the driver making some noises. So I had to send back that subwoofer. Hence, I have not done the review yet. But I did receive it back yesterday, so I will be doing the review hopefully very soon. It's actually in my kitchen right now, still boxed up, so that's coming soon. I will have to take care of a REL 1205 Mark II subwoofer review, which I've been working on this week. I'm going to try to wrap that up maybe tomorrow before we do the Projector Shootout, which, by the way, there is a Projector Shootout, the Value Electronics Projector Shootout, December 10th and 11th, which is Saturday, Sunday, which is coming up. So I'm going to take care of the REL review, hopefully tomorrow, and then I can get cracking on the M&K, and then the RBH, and then the Perlisten, and then the RSL. Maybe not in that particular order, but it's going to be mixed in there somewhere. Oh, and then the Power Sound audio as well. I got the Power Sound sub that I still got to take care of. So that is what's going on with the M&K X15 subwoofer. Looks like we got some people pouring in. What's up, guys? Who else is here today? Cheekster777. What's up, Cheekster? Kale Media. What's up, buddy? Mr. Tristan up in here, keeping it with the Joneses. Look at those boxes in the background. Oh man, those boxes, they never change. Shout out to The Last Jedi, Star Wars The Last Jedi. When did this movie come out? 2018? I still got the box from my local theater, AMC. Just chilling. What's up, just chilling? Mr. Craig Osterberg is up in here. What's up, Craig? Hello, Shane. Getting any surprise systems for yourself for Christmas? I've been toying around with the idea of getting a surprise system. You know, speaking of getting a new system, you know, I haven't used my system in months. They're actually right there. Those are the Bowers and Wilkins, my CT 7.4s. They're stacked up behind me. I don't know how many I got back there. I think I have like 10 of them back there. Anybody interested in purchasing any Bowers and Wilkins CT 7.4s, you know, send me a message. I'll give it to you. I think they're like $1,200 a piece. Listen, I'll give you a good deal, maybe about half off or something like that. If you're interested in purchasing any Bowers and Wilkins CT 7.4s, you hit me up, send me an email. If you want to buy all of them, you get a good deal on them. You got to pay for shipping, of course, but listen, you'll save in the long run. Because I haven't used them like a year, maybe a year and a half or so. They just haven't been really hooked up. It's either been like the Perlisten, Perlistens. I've had the Perlistens in there for months. Right now I'm doing the Procellas. And then I got the RSLs going in there. And then I don't know what else I might have going in there. So, yeah. I mean, I haven't used them, so it's like they're my speakers, but I haven't used them. So if anybody interested in looking for some Bowers and Wilkins 7.4s, send me an email. I'll give you a good deal on them. They're great speakers. They're just collecting dust right now. Perlisten is going to be soon. Yeah, you listen. They're about to blow up pretty soon, I have a feeling. I got some RBH speakers. They are incredible for the price. They got some new stuff coming out too. I'm not going to say what it is, but something new coming out. Who else we got up in here? Have you checked out the Monoprice THX speakers? Would be nice to see thoughts on comparison between them, a Rendell, per listen, all designed by Dan Romer. Well, I can say I positive the build quality on the mono price is not to the same standards as a Rendell. And definitely not the same standard as per listen. I do know that. Whether or not they sound better, I don't know yet. I would have to definitely check those out for real. What else we got here? Movies are so bad right now. You know, speaking of movies, let me see. Let's share the screen here. Stop screen. Let's talk about who is going to go see Avatar 2 next week, because this movie's been getting some very good press lately. I know a lot of people have been doubting James Cameron, but from the looks of all of these reviews that I've been seeing, or not reviews, but reactions, it's been nothing but praise. I know a lot of people kind of crap on Avatar for being Pocahontas slash Ferngully slash whatever, but let's face it, it's the number one movie like in the world ever for a reason, because people must have liked it. There's always going to be people that hate it. They're just going to hate stuff that is popular. But from the looks of it, it sounds like, again, James Cameron is knocking it out of the park. I mean, let's read a couple of these reactions here. This is from The Hollywood Reporter via, I think, like Twitter. Yeah, never bet against James Cameron. Trying to spare hyperbole, but I've never seen anything like this from a technical visual standpoint. It's overwhelming, maybe too overwhelming. Sometimes I miss plot points because I'm staring at a Pandora fish. Also, I rewatched the first Avatar over the weekend and basically settled on that was fine. The sequel was much better and deeper character development. I mean, come on, how simple was the first movie? And this guy is saying from a technical standpoint, visually, I'm hoping audibly as well. It's in Atmos, I think, hopefully. It's going to sound and look spectacular. I have no doubts about it. It's going to look great. I mean, the first movie back in 2009 still looks fantastic. I saw that. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen the re-release. I've watched them multiple times here again the past month just to get myself geared up, and it still holds up well today. Better than most of the CG stuff we see from Marvel, DC, and all the other newer films out today. The next one is pretty incredible. I had faith James Cameron would raise the bar with the effects, but these visuals are mind-blowing, one stunning frame after the next. But the thing I dug the most is how the technical feats always feel in service of the character and world building. Unsurprisingly, Avatar: The Way of Water is a visual masterpiece with rich use of 3D and breathtaking vistas. It does suffer from a thin story, so the first one, and too many characters to juggle, yet James Cameron pulls it together for an extraordinary final act full of emotion and thrilling action. Damn, listen, like everybody's just like been praising on this movie. I'm pretty excited to check it out. I'm going to see it next Thursday on the 15th at 3 o'clock at my local theater. And then I'm going to go see it again Sunday. We're taking the train over to Lincoln Square 13 over in New York City to check out the actual true IMAX. I guess it's a real official IMAX. Maybe one of the last ones in the US or something, as far as I know. I'm sure some of you guys might know better than I would, but the last real IMAX that I've been to was in Norwalk, Connecticut, which is about 30 minutes from me, but they closed it down to build a parking lot there. So now I've got to travel to New York City to go check out the real IMAX there, and I think it's going to be 4K 3D high frame rate. Fingers crossed. It didn't say so in the app. If one of you guys know in the chat, then let me know if the New York one is actually going to be in high frame rate, because I'm not sure. It doesn't say so. And then I figured I would do a review on Avatar 2 in the small IMAX theater versus the real IMAX theater in New York City, which, from the looks of it, people have been interested in seeing what the theater going experience is like, whether it's 4DX or IMAX or Dolby Vision. So I figured this is going to be a good way to gauge or to let people know, should you go to a real IMAX if you can get to it, or just a local smaller IMAX. I might even throw in Dolby Cinema in there as well to see if that's like 3 times within the next couple of days. I can pull that off, sure. Hopefully, it's a really good movie, so I can watch it three times over the weekend, next weekend. I'm excited. I mean, like I said, I've watched the first movie multiple times within the past month, just trying to catch up, and the CG still holds up. Unfortunately, the audio is only a 5.1, but I'm sure we're going to get a 4K release. I'm going to say probably when Avatar 2 gets announced to come out in 4K Blu-ray. Once it leaves the theater, I'm sure we're going to get a 4K version of the original Avatar in IMAX. Whether or not Avatar 2 is going to blow minds enough to make TV manufacturers come out with 4K 3D, that's yet to be seen. From the sounds of it, it sounds like he stepped it up the next level as far as 3D is concerned, and nobody's really complaining about the high frame rate either. I guess it's like a mixture of what he did in the first movie, a mixture of 24 frames per second, and I think he did this one 48 frames per second. So I think certain scenes are going to be in high frame rate and certain scenes are not. So, I mean, I am excited about it. When's the last time James Cameron really made a shit movie? The Abyss? No. Terminator 2? No. Titanic? No. Aliens 2? No. I mean, the man just made True Lies? I mean, all classic movies. And this sounds like it's going to be another one. So if you guys are interested in checking out Avatar 2, leave your thoughts down below. Let me know, what are your expectations for Avatar 2? And when do you think Avatar 1 is going to come out on 4K Blu-ray? Are we going to see 4K 3D televisions coming out within the next couple of years? Is this movie going to move the needle for 4K 3D? Let me know in the comment section. Leave your thoughts there. Who else we got? What other questions we got? So that is Avatar 2. Like I said, it's sounding pretty positive. Cheekster says, sadly, venues with IMAX with laser GT dual 4K projectors can only output 2K and 3D HFR. Single laser can do 4K 3D high frame rate. I have no idea what's going on in New York City. I mean, like I said, has anybody been to the Lincoln Square 13 in New York City? Let me see. I'm sure some of you guys got to be from New York in the chat here. I don't see anything. Do you got a super chat from Mr. Rob E? $5. Thank you for the super chat. Super chats are always welcome. What's up with Gene's blindfold challenge? So the blindfold challenge, I think that happened pre-pandemic. We were going back and forth about that one. Then that hit, and then he got COVID. Now he's deathly ill again. He's talking about Liver King, stuff like that. But it's still on the table. We're going to make it happen. Don't you worry about that. I'm sure you must have asked Gene this question, and I'm sure he must have screenshotted it to me and sent it to me. So don't worry. It'll still happen. We're lucky in Indianapolis. The State Museum has a 6-story, 83-foot IMAX. So the re-release of the original, and we'll definitely see the new one there. Look at that. We got some still interest in the movie. I have the LG E6 OLED with passive 3D and its outstanding 3D experience. And it is 3 hours and 10 minutes. Yes. Speaking of 3D, I did the 3D. I did an ultra short throw review on the AWOL projector, which is an ultra short throw, one of the rare ultra short throws with 3D support. And, after I saw the re-release, I went back home. Me and the wife went back home and watched it again on 3D on the AWOL projector. So I know a lot of people, some folks do want 3D displays in their houses. And, I don't even think they're making 3D TVs anymore. So if you want the closest thing to a 3D TV that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, check out the AWOL projectors. I think they're maybe like between 3 and 4 grand or so, depending on what model you get. They have like the 2500 and the 3500, and the 3D on that is like is very bright, it's very detailed, and black level is really good as well. They just came out with a new update on their projectors to I think to lower the black floor so you can get better black levels on it. Because let's face it, some of those ultra short throw projectors, their black levels are just kind of shitty. And I remember when I did the AWOL review, I was thinking to myself, like, wow, this actually looks better than the big guys, like LG and Hisense and Samsung. And that projector, the AWOL, is going to be at the Shootout this weekend. I don't know if they're going to do the UST portion of the show on Saturday or Sunday, but I think they might do it on Saturday. But that's also going to be in there against the LG, Samsung, Hisense. Who else? Samsung, Hisense, LG, and then the AWOL. And I know people wanted to check out the 4Movie. I guess that's a really popular projector as well. I think it's pretty cheap. I think it's like $2,000 for that projector. But whatever's going on in China right now, I know Robert had reached out to them, so he couldn't get them in because they're not able to go into production to make new ones or something like that. So they couldn't get that 4Movie projector over to the Shootout. So that's why 4Movie is not going to be in the Shootout, for those guys that have been asking in the comment section of the last review I did. But yeah, anyways, 3D, if you guys want to get a 3D display that doesn't cost a lot of money, then the AWOL is something like between $2,000 to $4,000. Obviously, you need a white wall or a very nice screen, or just a screen in general, just a nice white flat surface, and some DLP 3D glasses, which are about $20. Super cheap. You can get them on eBay for cheap as well, cheaper than I think Amazon. And man, that 3D on the AWOL is just as good as the 3D on the Sony and on the JVC, which cost thousands of dollars more. We're talking like $10,000 and above. I mean, the 3D on that DLP, I like 3D on DLPs because they're so sharp and so crisp. Whereas on the regular like LCOS projectors, S6RD, they're sharp. I mean, they have a very nice, kind of a cinema feel to it. But also at the same time, certain theaters have that very clean digital look. And I feel like most of the ultra short throw, well, DLPs in general, just have that look as well. Kind of like the Christie projectors also have that look because they're used in the cinema. They have that really nice, sharp, crisp look. Whereas I feel like the JVC and Sony's kind of have that maybe almost a filmic look. So depending on your preference, the AWOL projector looks great for 3D. Hi Shane, what do you think about Focal Coraline versus the Arendal 1763? Is there a new? Did Arendal come out with a new line? 1763. I can say that out of those two speakers, I would have to give the win to the Arendal 17, the 1700 line. I would probably even give the win to the Arendal 16. What is it, the 1621 line? I don't know what these numbers stand for, but I would give the Arendal a win over the Cora series of Focals. And I know the 1700 series of Arendals way better built than the Focal Cora. I mean, they use HDF, whereas the Cora, I'm positive they use MDF. I know they don't use it. I know that they're not using HDF. Once you pick up an Arendal speaker, you're going to feel, at least the 1700 line, that HDF is just is like so dense. It feels like quality. Listen, they need to give me some free speakers, because if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even be hearing about Arendal. Like, it seems like everybody's got Arendal nowadays. I'm seeing them pop up everywhere. But get ready for it, man. You get ready for it. Like what you're seeing right now with the Arendal speakers. For those that know how to save their spare change, I feel like per listen is gonna come up really soon. You're gonna see them popping up everywhere because it's like the Arendelle speakers, and then you step up to the next level would be the per listen speakers. At least like the per listen R series. Like you go to like the Arendelle, and then you go to the per listen R series. And you want to step it up again, you go to the per listen S series. So that's how I see it working right now. I'm not saying I would sell all of my Bowers and Wilkins for an entire per listen R series home theater, but anybody interested in some Bowers and Wilkins CT 7.4 speakers, half price off. You hit me up in the emails. Did I get any emails? Let me see. Yep. Well, let's see what happens. Shane was first to give the Arendelle love. Yes, I was. I was the first to do the Arendelle. And then Gene hopped on. How close is Arendelle to ESLX's? Man, it's a totally different sound. The Arendelle. Listen, I don't think there's any speaker aside from other electrostats that sound like ESLX's. Electrostats are they have their own sonic signature. It doesn't sound like a box speaker. They have a very delicate sound to them. And I don't think I've ever heard a normal box speaker sound ever like an electrostat. So if you want the absolute like best detail, when people talk about transparency in their audio, like I even say it too when I'm reviewing, box speakers, but an electrostat has a very transparent sound because it sounds like it's coming from this transparent sheet of plastic, and it's just like you can see through the sound almost like it's a holographic. And I don't think I've ever heard another speaker, like a box speaker, sound quite the same as that. Maybe like a Magnapan, but I've never heard a non-electrostat speaker sound quite as transparent as the ESLX or just any ESL in general. So if you're a real audiophile, I would definitely pick an ESLX over the Arendelle speakers, because as good as the Arendelles are, they're just not that good as those for music. I just got the Arendelle 1723 THXs. Hey. Man, all these people that have bought Arendelle speakers, it would have been nice if I got a little kickback on those. They didn't give me nothing, man. What's going on? What's going on, Arendelle? Shit, totally forgot about me. Listen, every time they're giving out new stuff, I'm not even being contacted. Maybe they got upset because I don't have them anymore. Who knows? I don't know. Per listens are endgame speakers for me. Listen, they're kind of endgame speakers for me too. If you're going to spend money on per listen, I have crypto to sell you. I guess anybody wants per listen, I guess hit this guy up. What is this? Bro, never give up. Don't close your YouTube channel. I am watching you in change name. You change logo. Continue. That like only. Oh, okay, Maxie. I don't think that showed up on the chat here. Have you used the Arendelle speaker? I used the Arendelle speakers on wall. Man, it seems like there's so many Arendelle speaker owners all of a sudden, just out of the blue. Have I used the Arendelle speakers? I did use the Arendelle speakers on wall. I had the 1723 monitor S's, the side speakers, and also the back speakers. I mounted those onto the wall. The only thing that wasn't mounted on the wall was the front three when I had them. I even mounted the 1723 surrounds to the ceiling as well. It's weird, it's weird when you get speakers like the Arendelle. When I first saw them, I was always a big fan of M&K speakers because they were THX certified. So, when I was younger, I always had I always wanted THX speakers because they were like the de facto for home cinema back in the 80s, like early 90s. It was like I think Boston Acoustics had and then Bowers and Wilkins had THX ones with the yellow carbon fiber cones, and Atlantic Technology had THX speakers. They still make them, by the way. I had two or three. I think I had three Atlantic Technology THX speakers, and then I went from them over to M&K THX speakers, which I think were like the THX speakers to have because Lucasfilm used them. Skywalker Sound had them in their mixing rooms. Actually, I think they had Atlantic Technology and M&K, as far as I know, at the Skywalker Ranch. And I was like, damn, I gotta get those speakers. And I saved up enough, and I was able to get those speakers. And then, THX kind of just disappeared. And I was like, wow. And then when I started YouTube back in 2017, I was like, I still had the M&Ks, but I just wanted to get something new because those were really popular back in the 90s. So I wanted to get something a little bit more up to date, I guess, more relevant. So I had searched on the THX website, and I was like, oh, these black speakers are very interesting looking, and I've never seen anything that looked quite as cool as these speakers, and nobody has a video on them. Actually, I think maybe like one owner had a video on them from Sweden. I think his name was Johnny or something like that. It was on YouTube, but he's just some still photos or whatever. But I was like, wow. So let me reach out to these guys. I think I had maybe like 20,000 subscribers at the time, so it wasn't like big. But then again, they weren't even big in space. And they agreed to send me some stuff. They were like, they had never sent out any speakers before. So they sent out their speakers, and man, I was blown away. The second I opened the box, I was like, holy crap. I was like, these feel like very expensive speakers. And then I did a little research on the website. I was like, what is HDF? I was like, they're not using MDF? What is HDF? Which is just a denser wood, or like a denser version of MDF. And yeah, they just felt like money. And man, I was like the first one to have those, at least first like YouTube home theater person. And man, it would have been nice. It would have been nice to get a little something, a little commission or something, affiliate link, Arendelle. What's going on, man? If it wasn't for me, nobody would even know about the Arendelle speakers. They would still be like languishing over there in Norway, like a hidden gem that nobody really knew about. But listen, I saw them. I was like, oh, these look like some legit speakers. I did it. Like, give me some affiliate money. What's up? What's up, man? I forgot where that story was going. I felt like I had a story. Oh, I think the story was, did I use them on wall? Yes, I did. Latest news on the Marantz AV10 and direct bass management arriving 2024. So many half-ready processors coming out, like Arcam AV40. Is that going to come out? As far as I know, the AV10 is going to come out, I think, February, March of next year, as far as I know. So is it going to come out 2024? Probably not. I mean, listen, the Sound United guys are pretty good coming out with their new models. I think they stay pretty much on track with their stuff. They, unlike the Arcam AV40 and the Audio Control and JBL, I know those were riddled with bugs when they first came out. And, I was one of the first persons, I think I was the first person to do a review on the AV40, and it was garbage back then. I'm sure they must have fixed it. I think I was one of the first to do, maybe the first, to do the JBL SD, 65 or something like that? 45? I don't know the model number. I was like the SD something. and that had a few little kinks here and there. It was definitely better than the AV40. And then I had the audio control, whatever the best audio control processor was, like the RX9 or something. I'm sure somebody knows, but whatever the audio control is, I mean, they're all the exact same. They're all the exact same processor. But I could never, I couldn't do the audio control because I kept getting a lot of weird noises and interference to the speakers, and it was just a buggy mess. And they even sent me like 2 of them, so I couldn't do it. So that's why I never did that review, unfortunately. Like, I didn't want to put out a shitty review because those guys seem really nice, and I didn't want to just like shit on them in the video. So I was like, hey, listen, either I just send it back to you or I just don't do it. That's why I didn't do it. But for the Arcam AV40, I bought that. I bought that at Magnolia. I think it was something like $4,000. I bought it. I reviewed it and returned it because it was trash. I wanted to like it because everybody loves Arcam products. But that was whatever the new platform was. It just wasn't good. Sorry. But I'm sure the AV10 is going to be functional out of the gate. Hopefully. I know Dirac is not out for it yet, but it should be okay come February, March time. So I don't see there being a thing with that. Return My Cinema 50 did something weird to the bass in both music and movies. I only reviewed it in stereo mode when I did the review on the Stark sound, so I haven't hooked it up in the home theater yet to go full on internal amplifier mode on the Cinema 50. So I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to do that. Maybe the next month or so I'll wrap that up. But I got to do it pretty soon though, before everybody gets it in hand and they already know what it sounds like. What else? Oh, you know what I wanted to do? So I put up a post. I put up a post a couple of weeks ago, I think maybe a month ago, that we were going to do some theater critiques on the channel. I don't know what's going on with Gene. I don't know. I don't think he wants to do it anymore, so that's fine. I could do it myself. I started it off. I'll continue to do it. So the thing was, we were going to have subscribers send in their home theater videos. Kudos to you guys that actually sent me some videos. But we're going to do one today. So basically what we do is you guys send your video in of your home theater, and unlike the home theater tours that are all over YouTube nowadays, you send your video in. Maybe I'll get Gene at some point in time to come in as well when he stops being sick, stop being a little bitch. We're gonna take a look at your theater, and we'll take a look at it. We'll just critique it. And this isn't a critique like, listen, I'm not gonna critique it and just be nice about it. I'm gonna critique it and give you my thoughts on it, my true thoughts on it. We're not here to praise. I'm not gonna be here to praise you. I'm here to look at your theater and give you some thoughts. Home theater reaction video. That's what we're gonna do today. Let me share the screen. Let me see who the first video is from. By. Let me get this open. This is from. What is this gentleman's name? Eric? No, not Eric. His name is, I don't know. Let me go back to his video. I know we did Keeping Up with the Joneses, Tristan's Theater on the other channel, Dynamically Challenged. If you're not subscribed to Dynamically Challenged, typed in Dynamically Challenged. That's where this live stream will reside, because I'm going to take it off this channel once I get done here. Oh, okay. So his name is Tyriel 311. Tyriel 311. Let's share the screen. Let's share the screen here. Share screen, Chrome tab. All right. Let me unclick this. So let's check out Mr. Tiriel's home theater. He's got a 5.3.4 DIY home theater, unfinished walls and ceiling, but the sound is still in spec. I'll tell you right now, this man, unfinished walls and ceiling. I don't know how it's still in spec, but let's go. Hopefully it's I haven't seen this video, by the way. I've not seen this video, so it's gonna be the first time that we're seeing this together. We can critique it together. If you guys got something to say, you type it down in the comments. We'll read it off together. We'll break it down. Whatever you guys feel about his home theater. Let's go. Let's watch this. Let me enlarge in the screen here, and tell me if you guys can hear the audio, because I'm not sure if you guys can hear the audio, because I can hear it, but I'm not sure if you guys can hear it. Can you hear that music? Hopefully it's not copyrighted. Ooh, okay, that's from Top Gun. I thought maybe that was like a picture of him, like being a a pilot, but that's not him. That's from Top Gun. So don't get confused like I was confused. But let's look right now. What does he got? Oh, those are Rendell speakers. I feel like those are Rendell speakers. You got the glossy ones. Listen, the first thought. No offense to anybody that likes glossy speakers, but those look like they're glossy. Glossy speakers really have no place in a home theater. In a dedicated home theater space, I don't care how much money you spent on your speakers. They could cost $10,000 a speaker, $50,000 speakers. Take your glossy speakers out of your dedicated home theater space, because look at the reflections. Look at all these. I can see Luke's lightsaber reflecting off the side of his right speaker. That looks horrible. Look at, I can see the reflections coming off from the screen off to the front baffle on those speakers. Yo, that's a no-no. Beautiful speakers. I love your choice of speakers, but keep those glossy shits out of the theater. They don't belong in your theater. If you got a problem with that, leave it down in the comment section down below. But if you got glossy speakers in your theater, throw them out. Redo it. Get some of that spray. What is it? What's that spray that's somebody knows? It's a spray that's, you can spray it on your speakers and it turns into rubber, and then when you're done you can peel it off. I can't think of it right now, but you know what I'm talking about. Just spray paint them. Use that if you don't want to damage your speakers, or just get some black matte spray paint. Okay, let's go. Okay. I like it so far. What a beautiful room. Great room. I think that's Wolverine on the side. I dig it. I like it. I don't know. Well, we're going really slowly right now into his room. I like the space. It looks like a very nice space. I mean, he's got beige walls. That's fine. I would prefer black, maybe not beige, because beige is still kind of reflective. Still a light colored wall. I like it. I like the cement walls. I'm sure that's going to have some kind of reflections. But I can see you've got some traps and all that stuff, and some absorption. So it looks like he knows what he's doing. It looks like he's going for maybe like an earthy tone in his home theater. Very nice. So he's got some couches. I don't like the beige couches personally, but would be good for absorbing sound in his home theater. So cool. I probably would have picked a darker color, but I could see he's going for a color motif. You got John Wick in there from John Wick. Is that John Wick 1 with the teal in the background? Wolverine? Pretty sure it's Wolverine. Oh, my man. Hold on. He looks like he painted that himself on the wall. Good job. Must be an artist. Can we just talk about how shitty this video quality is, by the way? This is 1080p. Oh, my bad. Let's go 4K. My bad. Okay, so those are Rendell speakers, yeah. Listen, Rendell makes glossy speakers. They also make a satiny matte black finish. The fact that you want a glossy, that's no bueno. reflections on that. Ooh, that's a pretty center channel though. Oh my god, did you go with some off-brand? Did you go with some off-brand? You didn't even timbre match your height speakers? Okay. I can see it's unfinished and you're gonna put a finished ceiling up there. I get it. That's fine. But you didn't go with a Rendell well, I know a Rendell doesn't make it ceiling speakers, but you didn't go with a Rendell speakers on your ceiling? Come on, dude. When was the last time you went to a movie theater and you saw in ceiling speakers? They have actual speakers mounted on your ceiling. Come on, get the matching Rendell speakers. I guess maybe your significant other said no, so maybe that's why you did that. And then you went with the subwoofer. Oh. Okay. I love your choice. I love your choice of room. I love your choice of painting Wolverine on your wall. I love the choice that it's got that kind of. I live in a warehouse. Even though I'm pretty sure it's in your basement, I got this open concept feel. You got the brick walls that you painted beige for some reason. Then you went with the couches that matched beige for some reason, or earth tone. I get it. I think the carpet is kind of earth toney as well. I like it. I like the theme that you're doing, earthy. I would have went with all black because I've never been to personally a movie theater that was, brown and beige. In my mind, subjectively speaking, when I think of somebody building a home theater, it would be to mimic a movie theater. Because when I'm in a home theater, I want it to feel like I'm in a movie theater. I don't want your personal taste where it's like I want to have white couches and a white wall and I want to be artistic about it. I want to feel like I'm going into somebody's home theater and I feel like I'm in a movie theater. It's called home theater because it's like you're in your home, but also with theater. I would like to be in my home and then feel like I'm in a theater. I don't want to be in like beige walls and a beige couch and beige carpet. I want to be transported into a cinema feel, and that's fine that you did that. You took that route. That's fine. It looks beautiful. That's fine. Not for me. I don't like it personally, but I understand what you're doing. It looks beautiful. Good job there. But then the projector, you went with a ViewSonic. I think ViewSonic is like a PC brand or computer brand. All the time that you spent painting a mural on your wall of Wolverine, you could have worked a little bit harder. Got yourself a better projector. Come on, you can't be with the ViewSonic. Listen, I'm just playing around. I'm playing around, but listen, if that's what you can get, that's what you can get. Let's move on. And then you got model price subwoofers, model-less subwoofers. You can get JVC NP5 for like $5,000. That's like an entry-level point into true 4K. Great black levels. Very nice bright image, especially in your darkened basement theater, which I'm sure there's no windows down there. If there is, they're probably very small. So your theater looks like it's light controlled. You can go with something like that, or maybe a Sony 5000 ES. The new Sony projectors do have a problem with gradation and color banding, but if you can overlook that, they're very bright projectors and they're true 4K, whereas the ViewSonic is an upscaling projector or DLP. It's using the DLP chip, which is not going to give you true 4K projection. So if you have spent all this time in your theater, you should value video quality, save up your money a little bit more. Maybe it's a stepping stone. Maybe I shouldn't say anything about it, but I'm going to say something about it because I've seen it. So save your money a little bit more. If you are not going to get a top tier projector, you could start off at like $5,000 and get something like a JVC NP5 Sony 5000 ES true 4K projection. Even for 4K, this is pure shit quality on YouTube for some reason. This, by the way, is a great movie in 3D. This guy's trying to give me a copyright strike here. Maybe so. Okay. By the way, I know people love Into the Spider-Verse. I personally think it's a shitty kind of a shitty looking movie. The funny thing is, you know what? Back in like 2000, when was I going out? 2000, pre 2003. I think the year 2000, either 1999 or maybe 2000. I had a couch just like that with the almost like the corduroy pattern. It was very similar to this one. Same color too. Very comfortable couch. Not my first choice for a home theater couch, but yeah. Oh, okay. So this is like a whole open floor thing in your basement. Acoustics are probably kind of shitty down there, I would assume. He's got the bar behind it. I like that. I like how everything's like dark. Like a charcoal-esque table with the leather chairs. That's nice. You know, I probably, for me personally, I probably would finish that. I would enclose that space and just take out just close that space off to give you better acoustics in there, because you're gonna lose audio, you're gonna lose sound going out that back. And is there carpet down there? I feel like maybe it's like a cement floor. Yeah, I don't know if that's carpet or just made a purple carpet, maybe a gray carpet, but I would enclose that area personally. I mean, I like what you did down there. I'm also gonna say something as well. Like, I get what you did. It's probably a community room / theater. You did the photos with John Wick and Back to the Future. I know I've said this in the past and other videos. I like what you did. You're making it comfortable, inviting to people to go in your theater, and you're like, oh man, we're going into this theater, and he doesn't have movie posters up, but he has little clips, little still shots from his favorite movies like Top Gun Maverick and also Back to the Future. That's Ready Player One. He's got Predator over there on the left hand side of the screen that he's probably gonna hang on the wall. Don't Give Up the Ship. Maybe he's a naval officer or something. Appreciate that. That's really nice. But to going back into my whole home theater scenario in my head, or how I would do it. Like, I've never been to a movie theater where they put the movie posters in the theater before. Listen, I've said this before. I probably would put it outside, like enclose that wall and put it in that little section out there where the Predator picture is after you enclose the wall. So when you walk towards the theater, you're like, oh, I'm in the lobby of this theater, and he's got Ready Player One, he's got John Wick, he got Tom Cruise hanging on the wall, he's got the little heat vision on the Predator. And then you go into the theater, it's this darkened room with matte black speakers not reflecting off my projector screen. That's what I would do. Obviously, you're not me, I'm not you. But you opted to go with the movie poster scenes inside your theater, which I think would also distract as well. Because sometimes when I'm watching movies, and maybe I might see somebody sitting next to me with a yellow shirt on or something, might catch my eye. Whereas now I got Ready Player One off on my periphery. I don't want to see Ready Player One in my home theater room. Again, subjective thing. I wouldn't do that personally, but I know why you did it. It's a nice print. I know why you did it. That's nice. I wouldn't do it. But let's move on. Measurements. Question: Why did you not get a Rendell subs? Why did you go with the monolith subwoofers and not just go all the Rendell? I find that a little peculiar as well. I know they're made by like the same person, but still. lovely home theater, lovely space. I do like that you spent the time to put Wolverine in the corner. I like that. It's a little odd the Luke Skywalker cardboard cutout is there. I'm not sure why it's there. Why is it not in the back of the room? I mean, that would bother me as well. But I get what you did. I like the space. I do enjoy the space. Just not something I would do. Those are just some of my critiques of the theater from an aesthetic point. But yeah, I like the theater. I like the space. I just want maybe some darker walls in there. Just make it all blacked out. You're probably going to say when you turn out the lights, you can't see the walls anyways. Okay. But yeah, I like the space. I like it. You know, buy yourself a better projector. Great speaker choice. I'm a fan of the Reynolds speakers. I don't like the gloss. I would go matte. I like that you have some room acoustics in there as well to take care of it, because it seems from your measurements, it seems to be working pretty well. So you seem like you're an intelligent guy. You know what you're doing. I dig it. I like it. I like it and I don't like it. So if you guys want to send in your theaters as well, you can send it to, I'll leave a email down below in the video's description. What is it? Shane at sparechangereviews.com if you want to send in your video as well. And listen, we'll talk about your theater. I don't know if he's in this chat or not, but I dig it. I like some of your movie choices. I'm not a big fan of Into the Spider-Verse. I think that's not a very visually appealing movie to me, but I did like Alita, or not Alita, the other movie, I forgot what it was, with Scarlett Johansson. Good choice there, even though you try to sting me with the copyright here. We'll see what happens with this stream. I dig it. I like the room. Those are just my thoughts on it. If you guys want to send in your home theaters as well, get your theater. We'll talk about it. Let me see if is there any comments in here about his living space. Jason Livingston, he's actually being nice for Shane. What? After this review, definitely not. Come on, man. After this review, definitely not making a video of my setup. Did you guys think I was gonna legit like kiss asses? I'm not here to kiss anybody's asses. Let's just keep it real. We gotta keep it real with everybody, huh? If me and you were hanging out together, I would say the same thing. I wouldn't come to your house if I was gonna shoot your video, your home theater. I wouldn't come up to your house with my camera and be like, "Oh my God, what a lovely theater. What a lovely space. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Here's, watch my theater." No, that's not how it should be done. You should have somebody to tell you what it is. Of course, no, it's all subjective. Everybody's going to like what they like. You know, everybody's going to like what they like. What's going on, Sonan? Oh, were those Sonan speakers on his ceiling? Did he have in ceiling Sonan speakers? Listen, and for those people out there, they're just like, these speakers sound close enough to my main speakers. Or, you know, for those people that are just like, hey, I bought Reynolds speakers as my front stage, and then I got some clip speakers for my sides, and then I got some Sonans for my height channels. Dude, did we even get to the side channels? Hold on. When people are just like, hey, man, you know, you don't have to match your speakers. You know, it's bogus. Don't let people tell you that you shouldn't match your speakers because it's close enough. Or your surround speakers don't matter because you can't hear the difference. Listen, if you can't hear the difference from your surround channels to your front speakers, good for you. But those that have good hearing, you can hear the difference. So try to timbre match, if at all possible. I don't think he showed his surround speakers because I didn't see any here. Yeah, you know, just scrubbing through, I just saw his front speakers, and unless they're hiding in his panels, but I don't see matching Reynolds speakers, and I don't think I saw back speakers as well. No, I definitely didn't. All right, well, maybe he's got some more work to do to 311. But yeah, I would definitely just match up the speakers. I would get rid of the Sonance for sure. I'm not gonna shit on your choice of speakers, but I would shit on your choice of your ceiling speakers. Definitely get the Rendell 1723 speakers and match those up, because you wasted your time, roughing those in for your ceiling speakers. Get the actual speakers. Glossy is out of production now at AS, if I remember correctly. Oh, really? So they're only doing that. The sound from the YouTube is a little loud. Oh, what's up, Kyle? Kyle's in the chat. My man, the Boulder. What else here? That's what it is. Plastic dip. Kyle knows what it's all about. Plastic dip. I remember people used to like plastic dip their rims. If you want to avoid scratches and all that, you get the little spray can, the plastic dip. Yeah. Big Street Cinema. After this review, I definitely want to make a video of my setup for a device. Oh, Big Street Cinema. I think you hit me up on Instagram, on the gram recently, right? Make a video. Do a video. Please keep it longer than 60 seconds, because I got a lot of 60-second videos, and like, what are you gonna do in 60 seconds? And like, talk about it too, because oh, dude, he didn't even go over his. Hold on, did this guy go over his gear? Oh my gosh. Let's scrub through this really quick again. I feel like I know I've been drinking some Last Jedi stuff, but there's like nothing about his gear. Or it's just so blurry, I couldn't tell what was there. Okay, so looks like he's got an Onkyo, mini DSP. Alright, I like Onkyo. PS5. Very quick. Man, very quick on the gear. I can't, I'm not going to say much about the gear. The gear looks fine. The receiver's fine. The PlayStation's fine. You got the mini DSP. Okay, that's fine. I mean, make it interesting. When you send in your stuff, do a little voiceover on it, instead of give me a reason why you chose what you chose, instead of just when you give me a room that's a little like earth tony. Like, let me know why did you pick that color. Otherwise, I can just be like, why the fuck would you pick earth tone? Why would you not just paint it black? Like, I gotta have a reason why you chose it. Like, give us a reason. Don't give me a reason, just be like, you should have did it black. Give me a reason why you didn't have surround speakers. Give me a reason why you did Sonance height channels. Why didn't you do a Rendell height channels? That's garbage. Yo, if you are not camera matching your speakers, your surround speakers and your height speakers to your main speakers, yeah, you got no business doing it. And if that's what you're doing, save your money. Get some good front speakers. Save your money. Don't settle on some shit speakers just because you just want to have it. Save your money a little bit. You'll save your money in the long run by not having to buy twice. Get the right stuff the first time. Work a little bit harder and be patient. Patience is always a virtue when you want to spend money on frivolous things like home theater. All black in my home cinema room. Optoma 65 projector, Cambridge UHD player, Yamaha floor stand, plus Wharfdale, plus Q acoustics, Marantz amp, NAD 724. Richard Burnett, you need to send in your video years of your home theater as well. Let's do it up, man. Do it up. Hello, Shane. One PB16 Ultra versus PB2000 Pros. What is your recommendation, please? This is from Gupanta Makala. One Ultra versus two. I would probably go with the dual 2000s. I would do the dual 2000s for sure. Mr. 3D Blu-ray Bunker. What's up, 3D Blu-ray Bunker? If you guys want any information on 3D Blu-ray reviews, check out 3D Blu-ray Bunker. I know I have not reviewed a couple of the latest ones. I don't know if you have either. I haven't looked it up, but Doctor Strange, also No Way Home. I'm pretty sure you have reviewed those. I have not reviewed those. Isn't that a speaker at the back with a vase on it? Maybe not. I have no idea. I'd have to go through it again. I don't want to go through it again. He did everything so quickly. What do you think about the Bowers and Wilkins 700 series? I think they raised the price so much in those 700 series. I don't know what they're thinking, man. I get it, like shortage is tough on wood and stuff, but damn, they raised those speakers a lot of money. I mean, they're fine speakers, but try to get a good discount on them. But they're good speakers. Plus, I think they took the tweeters from the 800 series and brought them over to the 700 series, if I'm not mistaken. Also, the design is also better as well. It's got a slight curve to the front baffle, and I like how they took the woofers and extruded them out from the front baffle a little bit, unlike the last generation. Aesthetically, I like them better. I've not heard them, but if they sound anything like the 800 series, I think they should be winners. Too bad they just cost a lot of money. Remember, we all have great setups that many people would love to experience. Shane is just highly critical and has experienced so much high-end gear in his theater. Listen, I'm just being overly critical. That's all. It's all in jest, somewhat. Because I think when you're building your home theater, because everybody would like to have a dedicated space where it's like all dark and maybe your speakers are listen, I don't know. Maybe some people just like what they like. Maybe this guy likes what he likes. I'm just gonna give my thoughts on what I like and what I don't like about your home theater. That's all. And maybe you take something positive from those tips, and maybe you don't. Because when I remember my first home theater was like, I thought it was amazing looking, and I go back and look at pictures at it, and I'm like, oh shit, man, I should have did this. I should have did this. Why did I like that back then? That didn't even make sense. So when you first get stuff and you get happy that you're building stuff, you make compromises because maybe you just don't know what you're doing, or whatever. I don't know. It's all in fun. All in good fun. Oh, cheers, Shane. I've been lazy on YouTube lately. Always rate your 3D reviews as the best. No. 3D Blu-ray has the best 3D reviews. When are the RBH subs review coming? How they compare? It's coming very soon. Coming really soon. What's this guy? Mine is the same way. Living room setup. JBL gloss black towers all around in JBL SCL. Now you see, if this was like a living room system, okay, I would get it. Maybe that's the intention of this theater, but it looks very dedicated to me. Like if this was in the living room and I saw your kitchen dining table off to the side, I'd be like, all right, this is clearly your living room. Then okay, maybe glossy speakers would be okay, but this looks like it's a dedicated space. So I'd have to be a little bit more. I would be a little bit more critical of that. My theater setup is 7.2.4 with 704 S2s front, side, and back surrounds, HTM 71S center, 4 Sonance for Atmos. So you got, hold on. So you got Bowers and Wilkins, front, side, and surround, and you got Sonance for your top speakers. See, that's what I mean when people take little shortcuts. I'm going to take a shortcut and get a little refill, and I'll be right back. You guys want to stick around, you can stick around. Otherwise, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay. What was the question here? How to use the bathroom, by the way. So you got front Bowers and Wilkins, side and back surrounds, and then your matching Bowers. Why would you not? Why would you go with Sonance speakers? You clearly went to Magnolia and they talked you into some Sonance height speakers. Is that what they did? Because Bowers and Wilkins makes matching speakers, tamper match speakers for those other speakers that you got. So I'm not sure why you went with the Sonance. Just take those out of your ceiling and go get the matching Bowers. She ain't taking a piss. Yeah, she ain't taking a piss. All right. I am tempted to send Shane a video of my HT. Give him a shock at how small, tiny little UK rooms can be. Plus, I'd be happy to take some serious criticism. Listen, I've seen a lot of UK theaters. You know what? A lot of those UK theaters have M&K in them. Like M&K seems to be really big in UK. I don't know why, but M&K, I feel like M&K is like everywhere in the UK. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you have M&K or do you have something else? I would be curious to know. I want to see the video. You know, don't even tell me. Just send me the video. Just take the video. Shane B. It's weird because we have the same initials. I'm dying to know when your big cable showdown. Oh man, we already talked about this earlier. You have to scroll. You're gonna have to scroll back on the video timeline. Do it 3D Blu-ray. I'm guessing my room is even smaller. Cal Media. Oh, by the way, keeping up with the Joneses, he also has a monolith 11X amplifier. This is a video. He's got a video of his home theater as well. I also have. Actually, I posted my theater critique of his theater. It's in the comment section. What else we got? I think good here. You know, there was something that I wanted to bring up. Let me go back here. Live stream. Studio. There's something I wanted to bring up. I don't even know. Listen, if you guys have missed out on a couple things here that I covered during the past week. The Mad VR. I did the Mad VR. I don't know. I'll tell you what with this Mad VR. When I was there, I'm not sure if this demo of the Mad VR that I checked out is how it's supposed to work. So I wasn't sure exactly what he was showing me. I don't know if you're supposed to. Anybody who has a Mad VR, does anybody in the chat right now have a Mad VR? If you got a Mad VR, leave a comment, raise your hand or something. Let me know. Because I have a question about the Mad VR. Because I don't think my demonstration of that video showed exactly what it was supposed to show. Because he took the HDR signal and then went to SDR. He took it as SDR. He basically just went from HDR to SDR and then did whatever he wanted to do from there, which I don't think that's what it's supposed to do. This is from Gene. Whatever happened to Audioholic's blind cable test challenge? Asking for a friend. Well, I believe this question was answered earlier on in the stream from Mr. Rob E. What's up with Gene's blindfold challenge? We had discussed this earlier, prior to my theater critique of Mr. Terrell 311. That is still going to happen. It's still going to happen. I don't know. I don't think Gene would be very appreciative that you took his logo and also you took his name as well on his channel. So I'm going to have to talk to him about that. But it's also going to go down. Don't you worry about that. It's going to go down if you are not part of the Shane Lee Patreon. You can also sign up for the Shane Lee Patreon if you want to help support the travel expenses over to Florida, because Gene lives in Florida and Shane lives in Connecticut. So listen, if you want to support the channel and help out for expenses to travel down there, you can definitely do that by joining Patreon. I believe Keeping Up with the Joneses was part of Patreon as well at some point in time, but then he left for whatever reason, not sure. But Patreon is available for $1 a month. You can sign up for $5 a month, $10 a month. I got a lot of $10 a month guys on my Patreon. If you guys have any questions about anything, especially cable challenges, even for $1 a month, I respond back pretty quickly. Whereas most of my videos, I just don't respond at all because I'm usually doing something else. But if you want to get some direct contact with me, you can join Patreon, help support the channel, help support a trip down to Florida for me and my film crew, which is one other person, which is the wife. She does my camera work for me. And we can go down there and we can shoot this. Because I think we did this pre-pandemic was the plan. And then Gene got sick. He had to go GoFundMe because he was gonna die. He made a GoFundMe account. He was gonna die. I didn't want to go down there and get sick myself and die as well. So it's been on the back burner, but it's gonna happen. Join Patreon, patreon.com/Shane Lee if you want to join. If you can't afford $1 a month, I get it. It's tough. The home theater hobby is tough. $1 a month is pretty tough. If you can't do that, you probably should get out of the home theater hobby. But join for $1 a month. That's all I'm saying. It's good. Good stuff. I got a few hundred Patreon guys there. We're always giving away free movies. We're always giving away free tips. Always little sneak peeks at the other content that I'm going to be covering. If you guys got a request on something else, you can drop it there. If you want to get your theater critiqued without getting shitted on, you can drop it there as well. That is patreon.com/sparechange. So hopefully that answered your question, Audioholics. Your Audioholics question. This is as real as Liver King being natty. What is also being as real as being natty is your profile saying that you're Gene from Audioholics. That's what I say. Very shady. What else we got here? Trinov 9M. Hold on. Is there a new model that I'm unaware of? Trinov 9M? HypeX ATI versus Amplitude 16. You possibly look into difference in sound. Well, I can say that I have been told from them that their 8M is better sounding than their 16. I'm just saying, this is from the horse's mouth. The 16 is purely convenience factor. If you want to keep everything, compact. But their good tech is in their 8 and 8M. The 16 is just there because they want to keep everything small. Hope that answers your question. 9 speakers, 924, triad in-wall gold, triad in-wall silver. Wide side, rear, overhead, REL, 1508, Predator ×6, high modulus. You know, we're not going to critique your home theater. Fake Gene also. We're not going to critique your home theater. You need to make a video, send it. It looks like an interesting theater. Especially if you got triwall. Or, my bad, triwall, triad. Donald Fleming. Thanks, heard that from other dealers as well, but wanted your opinion. Yeah, I mean, it just kind of makes sense as well, right? Any remote calibration support for Patreons? Any remote calibration? What do you mean? What do you mean remote calibration support? You mean like on your Trinov or something like that? I don't have access to the Trinov stuff. I don't know if you can do remote calibration, can you? Shane, did you announce the winner of the RSL speaker giveaway? I did not. I didn't even do the review yet. It's funny because I think in that video I said once I do the review, I would announce the winner. I didn't do the review, so obviously if I didn't do the review, the winner announcement would be in that video. So no, I have not done the review, so I have not done the announcement for that yet. Supposedly the purified modules are the cat's meow. Listen, that's what I hear. That's what I hear. But I guess it really depends on how you implement it. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard the 16 myself, but listen, if the owners tell me that one sounds better than the other one, I would probably kind of have to take that as truth. Shane, have you heard good things about the Ascend CMT 340 SE? The Ascend 340 SE. I don't even know what those look like. Let's see. Center channel speaker review. High fidelity. CMT 340 SE. I've never seen these speakers before. These look like, I mean, they look like kind of ordinary speakers, to be honest with you. I've not heard those speakers before. I've never even seen them either. Wait, that's like 2007, dude. Ascend Acoustics. I thought those looked familiar from like way back then. That's probably why they look so old. New Clipple NFS optimized version? No. Listen, I have not seen those. I remember seeing them years ago. Unless it was like a new version of it. But no, I don't have any I don't have any info on those ones. Sorry, Matt. I don't have any info on those. I've never heard those. Getty, do you think Cameron will give the Abyss the wax DNR treatment? I don't know, man. I hope not. I have a feeling, listen, I have a feeling maybe. Because what did he do? He shot obviously he shot it on film back then, and then all the CG effects. I mean, like, what would those CG effects look like now in 4K resolution mixed with the live action? Is he going to try to blend it in somehow? Or is he going to try to redo those effects? I don't know. I would assume maybe he would try to DNR it to blend everything together. That's a tough call. Any thoughts on car audio speakers? Oh, you know what I want to talk about when I took a little break. I do have thoughts on car audio speakers. I'm not a car audio guy, even though, when I was growing up, when I was in like high school and maybe into my early 20s, even now, sort of, because I did pick up, I think I picked up some Infinity Kappas for my car recently. I think Infinity Kappas are, I think everybody gets Infinity Kappas at one point in time because they're cheap and they're always on discount, right? From Harman. I think everybody owns Infinity Kappas. I like car audio. It's always tough to get right because you're always in such close proximity to them. So you would have to get some really good DSP in your car, but then you're only really DSPing. You're only EQing for your particular seat or for the driver or for the passenger. If you try to do EQ or DSP for both seats, it's just not going to work because you're always going to be closer to one speaker. I think there have been some cars that have had center channel speakers in them. And there have been some processors in the past that you could get, like Dolby Pro Logic Surround. I think Clarion made it back in the day. I don't know who else besides Clarion did that back in the day. I only know this because I used to have a Clarion center channel speaker, and I used to have a Pro Logic DVD changer / head unit. Ever since then, I don't think I've ever seen another Dolby Surround head unit ever. I remember the Clarion unit had a faceplate that was really thin. It would slide down. It was like Pro Logic 2 was built into it. It had a rotary dial in the center. You car audio guys would know what I'm talking about. I don't know what the model number is. Maybe the coolest head unit that I've had. And the center channel was about yay thin. It was like a single DIN width, and it was like half DIN in height, and you could mount that. I had to mount it underneath the head unit. Dude, it was so badass. But as far as like cardio speakers, man, yeah, I think unless you can get like real, like an actual center channel in your car, it's going to be really hard to get a good phantom image in the center channel to give you good stereo in your car, because it's always going to be one or the other, because your speaker's inches away from your leg, inches away from your ear, inches away from your arm, while the other one is maybe like several feet away from your right ear or your left ear, depending on where you're sitting. So that's like some real acoustical magic you have to do with DSP. So as far as like speakers are concerned with cars, I really think it really depends on the location and how you have it managed and balanced in your car for it to be viable. And it's like a lot. I feel like it's a lot more work than home theater is concerned. So that's why I never got into doing home car audio speakers, because it seems like it's like, unless you got like a big ass car. And I've always had small cars, like small 2-doors. I'm trying to get a good image in those things. Are just like why even bother? Will you ever review Macintosh amps? I sort of reviewed my amp. I think I did it in the Trinov review. Did you not see that review? I know I didn't specifically say it was a Trinov amplifier review, but it was part of it. I also partly reviewed an amp, the Macintosh amp, in my Stark audio review as well. Best projector or use projector options for around $5,000. You could I would just get a NP5 or Sony 5000 ES. You're just right in that you're right there in that ballpark. That's what I would do. Let's see. We got a new Patreon subscriber here from Anton. Shout out to Anton for becoming a Patreon. Whoops. Damn, I'm about to break my phone. For Anton being a Patreon subscriber. Bam, right there. Thank you, Anton, for becoming a new 15. I don't know what 1500 SEK Patreon is. Maybe from Norway. If you guys want to become a patron, feel free to join Patreon. Because you could join for as little as $1 a month, $5 or $10 a month. So thank you for joining, Anton. Appreciate it. You can always message me there whenever you want to. So thank you for joining Patreon, Anton. Where were we? Best projector. Yeah, I would go with the NP5 or the Sony something or another. The Sony 5000 ES. Oh, Transylvania in the house. Thank you, Transylvania, for the super chat. $10 super chat. Hi, Shayna. Hope you're doing well this season. I know it's bad to say, but I do enjoy your gear lust in changing gear. But I feel guilty. LOL. Is there anything that you are lusting after? Thanks. Anything I'm lusting after? Is there anything I'm lusting after? Well, listen, I'm trying to sell my speakers. Okay. I'm trying to sell my speakers. They're over my shoulder here. I've got a dozen Bowers & Wilkins CT 7.4s there, which are great speakers, by the way. I've had them for a couple of years now, but I haven't been using them for a couple of years. I also haven't been using them in a couple of years. I would like to sell them to get something else, which unfortunately, even if I spend the X amount of thousands of dollars on a new speaker, I probably wouldn't even be able to use those, because I've always got something new going into the theater. But I have been toying around with the idea, which I also told Fake Gene in the comment section here earlier. I was thinking about doing all per listen R4Bs, R4 bookshelves. Let's look it up here, because I've got the Bowers & Wilkins 7.4s. I've got like 11 of those, so they are timbre matched perfectly for every single location. And listen, I know most people cannot do that for the most perfect bubble of sound, because every speaker is exactly the same. It's not like when people say, this is timbre matched for the little 12-inch box is timbre matched to your towers, which are like 6 feet tall. No, it's not going to be timbre. It'll be timbre matched to it. Well, it'll sound similar, but it's never going to be timbre matched, because they're totally different speakers. So when it's like the center channel sounds like your left and right speakers, like if you have left and right towers, and then you have the matching center channel, which is horizontal, which is timbre matched. No, it's not. It's not timbre matched. It's not going to sound exactly the same unless it's the same exact speaker. So that's why I went with all Bowers & Wilkins bookshelf speakers in every location, because I wanted to get rid of the idea of being timbre matched. So my next idea, if you're asking me what I'm thinking of getting next, would be this here. Let me share my screen. I'm thinking of doing 15. I'm thinking of doing 15 Perlison R4Bs. And, you know, why would I not go with the S4Bs, which is their higher end model with the beryllium tweeters? Is because I've heard the beryllium tweeter and the silk dome tweeter, it's a very negligible difference, if any, that I could tell for half the price. So if I could do all of these, you know, if I had a bigger space, I would get bigger speakers. But you know, these are I would do a bunch of these guys. Unfortunately, you know, even though I critique this guy for having glossy speakers, I would have to talk to these guys about getting some matte finishes, because one thing that would hold me back from getting these is the glossy finish. Like I couldn't have glossy finish in my theater, regardless. And frequency response to these is exactly pretty much the same as my Bowers now, which is, I think my Bowers is like 44 hertz. But this goes up to like 32K, so details like very good, nice transparency on the top end there, which sound like they're higher end series. So I would do a dozen of these speakers. You know, if I could sell all my speakers and get a nice matte finish on these, I would do a dozen of these guys. That'd be my ideal situation. So, hope that answers your question. That's what I'm trying to get right now. That's what I'm trying to make happen. We'll see what happens. The $2,500 a piece. You are correct, sir. 25 a piece. So if I can get 15 of those, I think 15 would be the max that I could fit in my space. 3 behind the screen, 2 wides, 2 sides, 3 backs, 4 heights would make me 15, if I'm not correct. You know, if my math is correct. Matte finish. If you can't do matte finish, then I can't do it. And I need grills as well. Plane's boarding. Time to go home. Night, folks. Oh, this guy's in the airport. Oh, nice. Interesting that certain people would watch me from the plane, from the airport, and that you would engage. I'm a hard copy collector. No TV for me. What? Hold on a second. What does that mean? Richard Burnett. I'm a hard copy collector. No TV for me. All the very best, Shane. Have a great Christmas. Nice. Okay. A hard copy collector. No TV for me. Oh, you read books. That's my... I guess you read books then. Okay. What's your take on Sound United charging $349 for Dirac on their new lineup of Denon Marantz AVRs when Onkyo was able to have it included in their RZ50? Oh. Well, my thoughts on that is every time I've reviewed a product that didn't have Dirac, I think there was always like an upcharge of like $400. I could be just imagining this if I'm remembering. I haven't reviewed a Dirac product in a couple of years where I think at the beginning when I did like the NAD, I think there was like a $400 upcharge if I'm not mistaken. So when I heard it was like $350, I thought to myself, I was like, oh, well, you're saving $50. But that was like you had to pay extra for like the full bandwidth. I don't know what audio is including in the RZ50, so I can't really say to that. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to give me the detail on that one. But as far as I know, with the processors back then, it was like a $400 upcharge. I could just be imagining that, but I think I recall it was being $400. And I remember emailing them. And I was like, "Hey, listen, I'm reviewing your product, but I'm not going to spend $400 for Dirac. So you need to give it to me." And yeah. So I got it, and everything that I've reviewed lately that's been Dirac has carried over to every product that I've reviewed. So I mean, I guess that's a good thing. I don't know if that's I don't know if you buy the license for Dirac on Denon Marantz, and if you sell that Denon Marantz, does that carry over to the next Denon Marantz purchase? I'm not sure. I think that's the case for the NAD stuff that I've reviewed, the Arcam stuff, the JBL stuff, where I had one license and it's carried over for all those subsequent purchases afterwards. I don't know if that's going to be the case for Denon Marantz, so I guess maybe I could ask that question to them. But as far as I know, that price has always been there in my mind. So I always thought it was $50 cheaper. I didn't know that Onkyo was including that for free. And what are they including in that 350? Is it the full bandwidth correction? Is it multi-sub? Because all that stuff is extra. I believe the RZ50 has full Dirac without base management. Well, there you go. So base management is going to cost you some more as well. I don't know, what is that, $100 more or something? But I think that's a good deal, man. Listen, if they're giving you full bandwidth for free, that's a pretty good deal. I mean, I'm sure it's baked into the price where you think it's free, but it's baked in there somewhere. Do you think panamorph lenses make a huge difference for 2351 movies? Absolutely. I have a panamorph lens myself. I've got a very old panamorph lens. I have one of their horizontal expansion lenses rather than their vertical expansion lenses. I don't know why they stopped doing horizontal expansion lenses. It doesn't make sense because rooms with limited depth would need a horizontal expansion lens, and they just stopped doing it. You'd have to get like an older lens. Well, yeah, for sure. If you want to get CinemaScope screen, despite the movies that come out in IMAX in the 16:9 or 4:3 aspect ratio, either or, I can tell you right now, that's a very small percentage of movies that come out in that 16:9 4:3 aspect ratio. Because even the movies that I review, I haven't been reviewing a lot of 4K Blu-rays lately. I've been trying to kind of concentrate on doing hardware reviews, just like regular gear stuff. But every time I've ever done a 4K Blu-ray review, most of them, I'm gonna say 90 some percent, maybe 95%, has always been in 235 or 239 aspect ratio. So I think it's definitely worth getting, putting the investment in an anamorphic lens if you want to get the full resolution, full max brightness output of your projector. You're definitely going to need a lens on your projector, unless you want to spend a crap ton of money and get a Christie, native CinemaScope projector. You're going to have to get yourself a lens to maximize your brightness. Because a lot of folks that get projectors, they don't get lenses and they just zoom in and they think that that's good enough, which is really not, because you're wasting a lot of light output, overshooting your screen. So with a lens, you're taking the entire light output, you're squeezing it down, and you're shooting it all widthwise in the 239 235 aspect ratio. And that's something I think 16% of brightness. I mean, it could be wrong in that math, but I think it's if you were to just zoom off your screen and not use a lens, I think it's something like 16% or so of brightness that you're losing. 16% is pretty that's a lot of lumens that you're giving up by not going with a lens. And like I said, like 90% of some movies that come out on physical media, Blu-ray streaming, is gonna be in the widescreen aspect ratio. Well, maybe not streaming, because I think streaming has been kind of moving towards, 16:9 with the whole, Netflix and stuff like that. But well, even with like the Disney stuff, most of the Star Wars stuff, 2:9 aspect ratio, more cinematic. The IMAX stuff is for the people with television sets. That's what that stuff is for, or the Marvel movies, or your Disney, or if you're, I know that on Disney Plus they were just like, listen, we're gonna give you the full aspect ratio. We're gonna give you open matte, and not what had come out previously at your theaters, which was like 2:9. We're just getting you open matte format. It's gonna make you happier because you're watching on a television set because it's Disney Plus. We're gonna get more subscribers that way. But really, a lot of those movies came out in the scope aspect ratio. So invest in getting that lens, and you will be much happier for it. Trust me. There's very few movies that are in IMAX. There's very few movies that are in the 16:9 aspect ratio that come out every year. Which 4K Blu-rays do you recommend to enjoy a new home theater 524 setup? Chad, man, I actually have. If you go on the channel, there's a playlist section where there's top 10s. I think it's called top lists. If you want to go to the top lists for best per year, starting with 2017, 2018 up until now, you can see all those 4K Blu-rays to choose from. I've also got some like best looking and best sounding 4K Blu-rays. Like best looking 4K Blu-rays or best sounding 4K Blu-rays to test out in your home theater. So I would just check out those playlists on the channel, because I can't think of them off the top of my head. What kind of amp do? I don't know, man. I don't know what kind of amp I do, but I do have a lot of amps. I don't know what kind of amp I do, though. Any 2023 movies you're looking forward to? Man, of course, I'm looking forward to The Flash. What else am I looking forward to? Speaking of The Flash, if you've been watching the whole movie space, word is there's going to be no more Wonder Woman. Jason Momoa's not going to be Aquaman anymore. He's going to be playing maybe Lobo. After the whole Henry Cavill coming back in Black Adam, I guess, spoiler alert, there's going to be no Superman movie coming out after all, because James, for some of you guys that know, that James Gunn had taken over DC Universe, the film department. So the word is that Henry Cavill is not going to get a Superman 2 movie. So who knows what's going on over there? But I'm looking forward to checking out The Flash. And are they going to rework that to like annihilate the whole Snyderverse that was built before it? Man, I want to know how they're going to work that with the whole James Gunn universe. I find that intriguing, because we know that James Gunn likes these offbeat characters like Lobo, like the Polka Dot Man, Suicide Squad. So I mean, shit, man, I'm looking forward to see what he does next year. I mean, I would have liked to have seen him maybe team up with Zack Snyder to knock out Justice League 2. But yeah, man, it looks like, who knows though? This is all just rumor and hearsay. Who knows what's going to happen next year in the DC universe? But I want to see The Flash. I want to see Dune 2. I want to see. Actually, that's it. What else is coming out next year? I don't even know what's coming out next year. That's what I want to see. John Wick 4. John Wick 4. I'm looking forward to seeing John Wick 4. Listen, after John Wick 1, I was like, I didn't even know what John Wick was. I think I had like, I think I got the sent the I got sent like the 4K Blu-ray, and I was like, what? I was like, Keanu Reeves is in a movie, in a movie with a dog or something like that. And I watched it, had no idea. I've never heard of that movie at all. And it was just like an old school action flick. It was like a Van Damme action flick, a revenge Van Damme action flick. I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is like the coolest shit. Had the nice shower scene with the neon color. I was like, oh, cool, man. This is badass. I cannot believe Keanu Reeves made this movie. And it was like, it was slightly over the top, but not over the top. It was like reserved but badass in those scenes that were badass. You know what I'm talking about? The shower scene that I just mentioned. And then we went to John Wick 2, and he must have killed like 800 people in that movie. And then we went to John Wick 3, and then he must have killed like 1,200 people in that movie. I was like, yo, I was like, what the fuck are they doing in this series? All of a sudden, everything went neon. John Wick 2 was cool. It was like blue neon in certain scenes, but it wasn't like overly exaggerated. Then you go to 2 and 3, everything's like purple and blue and green neon colors. Backlight, we're at these fucking clubs and shit in like Italy or whatever. Even the streets were all lit in neon. I was like, dude, I was like, oh no. I was like, they're not doing this. And they did it. John Wick is just running through buildings, killing hundreds of people. I was like, no. I was like, I get it. He's a badass, but you can't just kill this many people without it getting overbearing. And then John Wick 3 came out with Halle Berry, and the choreography was like, if you pay attention to it, you can see where Keanu Reeves would throw a punch and people would wait to react to it. Or when Halle Berry would do an action move or a punch or a kick, and people would stop to wait to react to it. I was like, yo, this choreography is just like, I get what you're doing, but you fucked it up because you're relying too much on it. And the way that you edited the movie, you should have cut it out a few frames. Maybe, I don't know what frame rate they were shooting it at, but they should have sped it up a little bit where you can't see the actors reacting to the shot or waiting to react to the shot. Which, if you watch John Wick 3, a lot of the scenes, the actors are reacting to what's gonna happen, and that took me out of the movie. And that happened progressively. It happened slowly, progressed from part 2 to 3. But I think most people that watch these movies, they don't pay attention. They just see people getting shot and killed. But if you really pay attention to what's going on, it was so bad. It was so bad. I can't watch John Wick 2 and 3 because I think they're so shitty. I think the action is shot so fucking bad. Especially in 3. It's just so bad. But the concepts are really good. So after John Wick 1, everything just kind of went downhill for me. I got a bad feeling about John Wick 4. I think I turned this shit into a fucking TV series with Anna de Armas, I think. I'm scared about what's going to happen with John Wick. I know some of you film guys, some of you film pundits out there that has paid attention to what goes on. It's just like fucking like some of the stuff, man. Some of the action in it is just like so. I don't know, man. It's not real. It just lost some of that realness to it. Oh, John Wick has killed a total of 306. Oh, that's it. Oh, my bad. I said he's killed like 1,200 people. Okay. He's only killed 306 people in all 3 movies. My bad. All probably hand-to-hand combat. That's better. That makes it better. Word has it they're deleting cameos from Affleck and Momoa in Flash and Aquaman. Wow. Man, Affleck was my favorite Batman. Who knows? I don't know. That sucks. Per listen, MK, PSA subwoofers, which is your favorite and what subs do you have? Well, I have the per listen, I have the MK, I have the PSA, and I have RCell, and I have Rel, I have XTZ. I feel like I'm missing some subwoofers here. I've got all those subs. Do I own all those subs? No, I don't own those subs. I have to give them back. I don't own anything. Most of the stuff, 99% of the stuff I review, I do not own them. For some reason, I feel like there's a misconception on this channel for some reason that I own the stuff I review, which I don't. I think like 99% of the stuff I don't own. I've been at this for like 5-6 years now. I mean, most of the stuff I don't own. this is not a, like, most of the stuff I review is not like a journey of my life of owning stuff. It's me just reviewing stuff, which I get a lot of hate for, because people are like, why did you sell this? Why did you sell that? Why did you spend your money on this? And why did you spend your money on that? I was like, I didn't spend money on anything. I'm just reviewing it. And I say in the videos, shout out to whoever sent this to me to review. But yet people still think I own stuff, which I find very weird. Hello, sir. Thanks for both the excellent tech reviews and shared opinion on the AWOL 3500. I recently purchased one with a 120-inch floor-rising screen from VividStorm, Avatar, and Ready Player One 3D. Thank you for the super channel on that one, Tony Esquire. Awesome, man. Thank you, man. The AWOL. Listen, we're gonna do the ultra short throw projector shootout on Saturday, maybe Sunday. I'm confident in saying that the AWOL is gonna win this shootout. Very confident in saying that. If it doesn't win it, I don't know why it wouldn't win it. Because I've reviewed the LG, I've reviewed the Hisense, I've reviewed the Samsung. Samsung's probably the worst one. And I think the AWOL is the best one. I've had the BenQ. Well, I have BenQ as well. BenQ. Something else I've had. I don't know. I've had a bunch. I think I've had all the main ultra short throw projectors for review. And the AWOL. AWOL was the brightest for sure. AWOL is the brightest for sure that I can recall. Plus, that 3D is awesome. Awesome 3D. I'm awaiting Aquaman 2. The movie is HDR. Benchmark for me. Yes, it is. Affleck is definitely the best Batman and Bruce Wayne. Yes, it is. People love Christian Bale. Listen, I don't know what it is about those Chris Nolan Batman movies, but listen, when I go see a Batman movie, I want to see Batman. So when I went to go see The Batman with Pattinson, that is like my ideal type of Batman movie, because he's Batman for like 80% of the movie, then he's Bruce Wayne for like a few scenes. Like, I want to see him doing, like in the comic books, Batman's the main dude, and every once in a while there might be a little side thing where he's got to go hang out with Alfred and meet with the governor or something like that in the books, in the comics. But then most of the time it's mostly just him in costume. And the Batman, he was the Batman the whole way through. Whereas in the Christopher Nolan ones, he's Bruce Wayne most of the time. I mean, is that what most of you guys want when you watch a Batman movie? Do you want him to be Bruce Wayne 80% of the time and then Batman 20% of the time? Or would you rather him be Batman 80% of the time and then Bruce Wayne 20% of the time? Like, I want to see Batman. I want to see him kicking ass. I want to see him solving mysteries. I want to see him driving in a car, flying a plane, hanging out with Catwoman, fighting with Dr. Freeze, or doing whatever it is he's doing. So when people are just like, yo, Christopher Nolan was the best Batman, I was like, no. I mean, the best movie was like part 2, but that was like, it should have just been called Joker, because it was like a Joker movie. Like, he was the main guy. So like, those Batman movies, just, I don't know, those movies never really hit for me, because he was just an okay Batman to me. I don't know. For me, listen, I grew up reading the comics. He's usually Batman most of the time in the comic books. If I wanted just a movie, okay. If I wanted a movie about some guy dressing up as Batman, maybe that would be the case, those movies. But he wasn't even that smart in those movies. I mean, if you guys really thought about it, The only guy that really solved any crimes in those Christopher Nolan movies was Lucius Fox. And Lucius Fox wasn't even really a character in the comics, like a relevant character. Like every time he had a problem, he had to go to Lucius. Like Batman is supposed to be the smartest guy in the comics, not Lucius. Just my thoughts on Batman. That's why I think Ben Affleck was the best, because he was a smart dude. He made stuff happen. He looked the part. He was built. I mean, so was Christian Bale. He looked like the comic book Batman. He didn't look like he was jumped off a motorcycle. He didn't have like motorcycle gear that looked like a Batman outfit. Shane, you doing IMAX or Dolby Cinema first for Avatar 2? I am going to do quote unquote Limax first, and then I'm going to do real IMAX second. Although in between, I might do Dolby Cinema. I might, because I'm doing it on Thursday. Doing it Thursday, IMAX 3D over in Connecticut, which is I guess the faux IMAX, the fake IMAX, and then I might go Friday to watch in Dolby. And then on Sunday, we're going to go to New York to see the real IMAX. So I might do 3. And then I think I'm going to do a video on after we check it out in New York. And every show, I mean, I put up a community post, like every show in New York, at least for IMAX, sold out, man. It was just packed. The only seats were available were like the very first row, and that's it. And it took me like 8 hours to buy a seat to the IMAX in New York City. Whereas the Dolby theaters were not even like a quarter of the way full. But it took me a long time. It took me several hours to buy the IMAX seats for the New York one. The Batman was the first actual Batman. The rest are Nolan and Burton with Batman in it. Yes, exactly what I'm saying. The Batman was the real Batman. I wish Pattinson had a better suit. I wish he actually fought people. Did you hear it? Yes, I heard DC's canceling. Yeah. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Hisense now has Dolby Vision and looks a lot better. When I did that Hisense review, the P1X, I had the beta software for that, and I didn't put that in my review because it made everything extremely dark and the highlights were too bright, and I think it was very red. So I didn't put that in the review, even though it was out back then. So it looked not very nice. So that's why I didn't put it in the review, because it wasn't official yet. But if you're saying that it looks better now than it did ever before, I'm looking forward to it, because now that we're talking about it, I should probably bring that up, that they should mention it in the TV Shootout, because I think this is a big deal. That a lot of these USTs have Dolby Vision, yet the $30,000 projectors don't have Dolby Vision without like workarounds. So yeah, I'm gonna bring that up. Did you like Violent Night? Man, good question. Did I like Violent Night? So of all the movies that I've seen, let's go over a little list of movies that I've seen this year. I plan on very brief. On day 1, you see the LG's they launch part. Okay. Oops. Okay, let me go to my AMC. I'm gonna go to my AMC list. How many of you guys are on AMC A list? Stubs. Not stubs, but just how many of you guys have AMC A list? where it's 3 movies a week. You can see 3 movies a week for $25 a month. I think if you guys are movie fans, which I think most of you guys are if you're hanging out right now, you gotta like movies. You can't just like home theater stuff. You can't just like buying 4K Blu-rays. You gotta like movies. How many of you guys are signed up for or not, maybe not just AMC, but just like a movie subscription fee at your local theater? Because with AMC, listen, I'm not pitching it, or I'm not selling you an affiliate link or nothing like that, because I don't think they have one, or else I would. How many of you guys are part of AMC A-List? I mean, you can watch 3 movies a week, every week, for the month. You can watch 12 movies a month for $25. And just so you know, I mean, going to the IMAX in New York City, a ticket is $24 for one ticket at IMAX in 3D in New York City. Whereas you could see that same movie 3 times in a week, that's $75 for $24. You could see that 12 times in a month for $25, whereas one ticket is $25. Like, why would you? Are any of you guys part of the AMC A-List? I'm curious to know. Like, that's a fucking no-brainer. Like, why would you not? How could you not be a movie fan and not be part of one of these movie theater subscription fees? And don't be like I'm a Blu-ray elitist or whatever. If you're a movie fan, you need to be part of one of these subscription fees, because it's like the best ever. Plus, you get like discounts on like food and drinks. I don't know how much money I have in my rewards points, but I get free drinks all the time. What was I talking about though? Best shit, man. Dude, I got like 7 million points right now. Avatar. What did I see? Okay, so I got Avatar 1 and 2. I saw Violent. All right, so Violent Night. I saw Violent Night. Did I like Violent Night? I saw Violent Night. Knives Out. Wakanda Forever. Black Adam. Halloween. Smile. Bros. Original Avatar. Don't Worry. Barbarian. The Invitation. Beast. Fall. DC Super Pets, Bullet Train, Nope, Thor, Love and Thunder, Minions, Elvis, Black Phone, Lightyear, Bob's Burgers, Jurassic World Dominion. That was in June. Man, it only goes back to June. Oh, I signed up in June for A-List. So out of all those movies, I would have to say that Violent Night is probably the best movie I have seen since June, joining AMC A-List. Yeah, I would say see Violent Night is. I would go back to see Violent Night more times than I would any one of these movies on this list. Because, I mean, let's run it down. Jurassic World Dominion was okay. Bob's Burger, I fell asleep on. Lightyear, I fell asleep on. Black Phone was okay. No, Black Phone was like, I've seen it before. Elvis was alright. Minions, okay. Thor Love and Thunder sucked balls. Nope. I didn't like Nope at first, but I did see it many times after. So Nope is one of those movies you got to watch multiple times to really appreciate it. And I've watched that multiple times. That's definitely in my top. Listen, we're going to do, me and I don't know who else, we're going to do a top list of best movies to come out this year on 4K. As far as not for picture and sound, but just like enjoyability. And Nope is definitely in my top 5, I think. I didn't like it at first, but after I watched it a little bit more, I got to appreciate it more. What he was trying to do. Or not really what he was trying to do, but just like, it was better. It was better than what I thought initially. We'll just say that. Bullet Train, I thought was going to be better than it was going to be. They could have shaved off an hour. And I thought it would have been a tighter movie. I would pick Violent Night over that. DC Super League of Pets. Yep, dozed off on that. Fall. If you are somebody that does not like heights, you need to go see Fall. For sure, one of the top. It's kind of a stupid premise, or some of the acting and stuff is kind of dumb. But if you saw it at the movies, this is probably the only movie, The Fall, or just Fall, Only movie that had my palms sweating. The only movie that almost made me walk out of the theater because I'm not a fan of heights. And watching it in the theater, I got halfway through and I almost had to walk out because I was so stressed. I was so stressed watching this movie. My hands were sweating so badly watching that movie. Fall is definitely on my top list for this year as well. Beast sucked. Invitation sucked. Barbarian sucked. Don't Worry Darling sucked. Avatar, I liked Avatar. Bros was kind of funny. Not gonna lie, it was a little bit funny. Smile sucked. I seen it many. You've seen sucked. Halloween sucked. Black Adam. I had a fun time with Black Adam. The story sucked, but it was a fun movie. I would watch that again. Black Panther sucked. Glass Onion was good. I saw that recently. That was really good. Although you knew what was going to happen. Pretty predictable, unlike the first movie. And then Violent Night was the last one I seen, which is last week. And that was the most fun movie that I've seen out of all those movies that I have seen since June at the theater. Violent Night, the best movie I've seen. The best movie I've seen at the theater. So yes, winner. Oh yeah, Top Gun. I don't know why Top Gun is not here. Why has Top Gun not showed up on my list? That's weird. But yeah, I would probably watch. Violent Night more times than I would watch Top Gun Maverick. And I wasn't even drinking or anything before I went to the movies either. Bullet Train, way better than Violent Night. You are smoking fucking dope. Bullet Train fucking sucked. All those backstories, there must have been like 40 minutes of backstories, which is unnecessary. Fall was great. Would have been awesome in 3D. Yeah, man, that was if Fall was in 3D, I definitely would have walked out of the theater because I was stressed the whole time I watched that movie. I've never been stressed watching a movie in my life. If that was in 3D, it would have been crazy. Thanks for bringing up A-List. Don't have AMC close by. Does Harkins have a movie subscription? Oh, Top Gun was in May. All right, maybe that's why I would explain why it's not on my list then. Yeah, man, dude, you got to. Man, if you were a movie fan, you got to sign up for A-List. It's like the best thing. $25. You get $25. You get to cut the line. Do you know how many times I've got yelled at for getting in the A-List line? There's like on those big movies. I don't know what it's like in your theater, but it's like in my theater, it's like they have the little rope that goes around before the concession stand, like that rope that snakes around. You got to wait in line to get to the stand, and then the A-List line is a straight shot. Where their line begins is a straight shot. It's kind of like going to Six Flags or Disney World. You get the speed pass. It's like a straight shot that goes from the start of their line straight to the concession stand. And as many times as I've been there, and I've had all these people like, oh my God, why do they get to go? Why are they cutting the line? Why do they get to go first? That alone is worth $25 a month just to see people waiting in that spiral line for 30 minutes to get their popcorn. Or you can just cut the line. That's the best feeling ever. I've gotten bitched at so many times because of that. It's so funny. It's not even like you got to sign up for the $25 plan. You can sign up for like the $7 plan and cut the line. But people don't do it. If you're an avid moviegoer, it just makes sense. Violent Night versus Fat Man. Which one was better? Man, that's a good question. I thought about that myself as I was watching the movie. I would still give Violent Night. I'd give Violent Night the win just because there were callbacks. I don't know if this is true, but when I was watching Violent Night, not to spoil the movie, but I'm pretty sure they used the music from Die Hard at the beginning of it. And, there's some Die Hard and Home Alone, callbacks and mentions in the movie, but I'm pretty sure they used the Die Hard music in the movie, and of course they referenced it as well in the movie. And there are several shots that they took from ideas that they took from Die Hard in the movie. I don't want to say what it is, 'cause I don't want to ruin it for you guys, but yeah. I gotta see Glass Onion. Glass Onion, I believe, is coming out next Friday on Netflix. Glass Onion is not a movie you need to see at the theaters. You can get away with seeing it at the. You can get away with seeing it at your house. That's not one of those things where it's like you gotta see it at the movie theater. That'd be no. But all right, guys, we're coming up at 2 hours, and I'm getting hungry, so I gotta go get me some food. It's 7 o'clock. But if you guys want to check out the live stream, which is gonna be on Saturday, which is December 10th. I'm going to be streaming the Projector Shootout, which we're going to be doing in New York City over at the Grand Central Hotel. I don't know what the name of it is called, but I think it's like Grand Central. We're going to be shooting it there. I don't know if it's open to the public. I don't think it is, though. I'll find out for sure. I'll leave a little comment post if it's open to the public, but I don't think it is. That's going to be Saturday. We're going to be testing out the ultra short throw projectors from AWOL, LG, Hisense, Samsung against one another, and Epson, if I'm not mistaken. So UST shootout for that. The long throw projector shootout, I think, is the next day, which is going to be in different price categories with Epson, Sony, and JVC. And then the big boy shootout is going to be the Sony and the JVC, which is the I think like the 25K and above. So they're going to be different price brackets, just to make it fair for each brand. That's going to be on Saturday and Sunday. Coming at you in New York City. If any of you guys are in New York City, maybe we'll do something in New York City. Are any of you guys in New York City or near New York City? Because maybe we could do something like on a Saturday. We can all like meet up somewhere in New York, get some drinks in New York. If you guys are in New York, maybe I'll put a post up or something like that, and that'll be fun. You know, if we're not, I don't think it's gonna be open to the public, but that would be kind of cool. You know, meet up somewhere in the city for a nightcap or something like that. But that's going on Saturday. Be on the lookout for a REL review, REL 1205 Mark II review. I'm working on that. And then the RBH, and then the M&K X15, and then the Perlison R210s, and then the RSL home theater package that I'm going to be giving away as well for one lucky winner. And if you guys do want to sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/sparechange. Sign up for their $1 a month, $12 a year. That's it. Thanks for hanging out. See you in the next video.